Hello.
Hello.
Hey, we're back.
I thought we didn't have any audio because I couldn't hear a thing then, could you?
No, we didn't have any audio. I think
that was last week on the intro.
Yeah.
Weird. Not to worry.
No,
Just started to panic a bit. Yeah, all fine, thank you.
good.
How are you?
Well, we're in out of the rain.
Yeah, disappointed in the weather compared to last Sunday.
Sunday. How are you, Donna?
All right, freshly out of the shower as we were talking before, like having a mad panic, trying to get mixing soaking wet too.
I don't see what goes on behind the scenes, you guys, when we're like frantically getting ready.
Listen, everybody.
Work, and that's probably pretty close, I would say. Oh dear. Sarah, you're top left today, and Donna.
What does that mean?
I think that goes. You go first, definitely.
Oh, right, okay.
Donna, why don't you talk about the theme though?
The theme, okay. Well, I had a few ideas, but the idea was if we use the word time. Now that's quite a broad thing. It can be the way I was thinking it. It could be how we look at time at the minute, or how things have happened in time gone by, or futuristic. You know, while we're in a lockdown, it's all about thinking.
I didn't think very hard, to be honest.
I overthink. It's got so many different connotations. I thought that was a really good idea. So, well done.
Yeah, it was really good, actually.
That word, the first thought that always goes. One of my first professional jobs as a studio engineer was engineering an album for somebody that became a very close friend of mine, one of my best friends, called Gaz Brown, who I wrote a musical with a few years ago. And the album, he was in the forces and just come back from the Gulf War, and he wrote this album called Time. So whenever I hear just that word on its own, I get this, because it was a big project, that one. I get that straight in my head.
We could do working 9 to 5. It's like we could do the countdown.
It seems so obvious.
There's so many possibilities.
It is.
It wasn't that cruel.
You led us to believe it would be quite a hard one this week.
Well, you know, I'm just breaking it in slowly. Progressing. Saving up for another time.
I think TV themes has got to be one week.
Oh my God.
Read my mind.
So why don't you kick us off, Sarah?
Okie dokie, will do. Right, I just wanted to say first of all, if Steve's out there, this is your fault, because I've put my banner up, and I've got one of my t-shirts on, because he said that me and Donna weren't putting our product placement in place. We were missing a trick. So this week I thought I would just go to town and put my logo up. I've got my logo there as well in the background.
Yeah, we thought we would give you the whole logo space this week. Look, nothing.
I'm just bad Donna, because I haven't done any of it. I've thought about it, but in fairness, I've got loads kind of hanging around at the minute.
You've got plenty of space on that wall there for a big giant banner. I reckon you should get one done next week. Yeah.
Done.
Hi everybody as well. Thanks for joining us, Linda, Harry, and Stan, Graham, Paul, Lucius. Hi there, John. Nice to see you. Right, this one's quite a hard one to kick off with, actually. If I'm doing this one, I'm going to start with a cover, by the way, if that's okay.
Yeah. Sure.
This one I don't normally do until kind of halfway through, after my voice is warmed up. I've been doing the old sirens this morning. I'm warming up, but it's still a pretty tough one. There's a lot of words in the space of the song, so and it's from a film, actually. You know, you say about TV themes. It's actually from a film. It's from a saga. It's from the Twilight Saga.
I love
Hearts beat fast, and colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I am afraid to fall? Watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer, I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I have been brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. All along I believed I have loved you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. All along I believed I have loved you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Love you for 1,000 more.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. When you said Twilight, I was thinking of the Twilight Zone. Oh, you mean like, not that one?
Twilight reverb on for it. I thought, ooh.
I was going to say, I bet you and Victoria have some arguments about the reverb, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Or do I want more reverb? No, it's plenty. No, I want more.
There is no such thing as enough. That's what I've learned.
Exactly. My point.
Well, I do. I have a little reverb switch down here, and because I don't believe in reverb while you're talking, as you guys.
Oh no.
No. So we have discussions about that. But I have to remember. That means I have to remember to put it on. And the one we had that worked with this little mixing desk until recently didn't have a light on it.
I was paranoid.
Oh.
So the only way you could hear whether you had the reverb was on, it was literally to have your earphones in and sort of say things and whether it was not. So I built one a weekend or two ago with a little light on it. So now it has a bright blue light. So if suddenly my face kind of goes blue, it's off the foot pedal. But there you go.
I think that's quite an interesting thing because, obviously we're doing online gigs and we can't go out and play gigs. I think it's important just to keep on improving and we're learning as we're going because it's all, I know people have been doing it for a long time, but most of us are all new to this.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
We're still improving and learning and getting tips off each other as we go along.
Yeah. And you can see it in people's live streams. The quality is rising and rising. Sound, video, a bit of everything. Thinking about, you know, having stuff in the background and stuff. And it is just a complete learning exercise. For, you know, we've all learned to use a PA and stuff like that to get by in the past. But yeah, just so many people. I had a fellow local musician messaged me this morning. He was about to do a live stream and couldn't work out how to get the phone the right way around. Yeah, the picture. And then before I actually had a chance to answer him, I got another message back saying, "Oh no, figured it, done, thank you." So yeah, total learning exercise. So we're going to do our cover first, I think.
Yeah, we learnt this about an hour ago.
Well, to be fair, we ran through it at about midnight last
I
night
listened
once.
to it yesterday. Yeah. I don't remember much about running through it last night, but
No.
that was
that
very
big?
So why don't you introduce this one while we did this one?
well, yeah, as I say, you suggested 9 to 5 first of all. And then I thought about Way Back When by Ward Thomas, because I quite like the idea of thinking about what things were like in the past, looking back in time. And then I think that then gave you the idea to do. He's just been trying to get this song in the set for ages, basically.
Totally.
Shoehorn it in.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, this is a good excuse. Come on.
So thanks, Donna.
Yep. It's one of those that it doesn't have much of melodies. I find it hard to learn it. It just sort of chugs along.
It's a word song. It's a great word song.
I don't remember the words yet, so I have got them in front of me, I confess. So yeah, it's a bit of Miranda Lambert. They're going to do Automatic.
Ooh.
Got her in a payphone, drying laundry on the line, watching Sunday in the window, pocket watch, telling time. Seems like only yesterday I get a blank cassette, record the country countdown, 'cause I couldn't buy it yet. We drove all the way to Dallas just to buy an Easter dress. We'd take along a Ram McNally, stand in line to pay for gas. God knows that shifting gears ain't what it used to be. I learned to drive that 55 just like a queen, 3 on a tree. Hey, whatever you happen to, waiting your turn, doing it all by hand. 'Cause when everything is happened to you, it's only worth as much as the time put in. It all just seems so good the way we had it back before everything became automatic. You had something to say, you write it on a piece of paper, then you put a stamp on it, and they'd get it 3 days later. Boys would call the girls would turn them down. Staying married was the only way to work your problems out. Hey, whatever happened to you, waiting your turn, doing it all by hand. 'Cause when everything is handed to you, it's only worth as much as the time put in. It all just seems so good the way we had it back before everything became automatic. Automatic. Let's blow windows down, windows with the cranks. Come on, let's take a picture, the kind you gotta shake. And whatever happens to you, waiting your turn, doing it all by hand. 'Cause when everything is handed to you, it's only worth as much as the time put in. It all just seems so good the way we had it back before everything
Nicely
Brilliant.
done. And you've just learnt that. Show
Yeah,
off.
I made up a couple of words.
It's one of those the harmony. There is a harmony in the mix, but in the original, but it's mixed so far back. It's really tricky to see actually hear what it is. So
I love your version. I think I prefer actually.
Oh, thank you. It's one of those. When you're playing it on guitar, because it has a tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock kind of beat. Maybe that's the time theme coming in. Someone got really clever.
Oh yes.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's that guitar thing. You've got to just keep that rhythm going, as boring as it is. To
Yeah, not the most interesting thing to play, I bet, but it sounds good.
It's almost a percussive element, isn't it?
It is, but it has got one of my favourite chords in the C add 9.
Oh yeah, I love that chord. Everything I've written has got that chord in it.
Oh yeah, it's a revelation, that one, because when you first start playing guitar, C it's not a particularly it's kind of it's all right kind of chord, but there's nothing really fab about it. And then when you discover C add 9, you suddenly it's a moment. When you're songwriting, it just sounds. I think it qualifies as what I might call an expensive chord.
Yeah.
Well, this next one doesn't have expensive chords.
Oh,
And it's a song that kind of made me think about. I thought I'd really like to do this one, and kind of have the guts to try it acoustically, because it's a big song, and it is about time and how we progress in our lives. And anyway, this is called The Story, Brandi Carlile.
All of these lines across my face tell you the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I've got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything. You've got no one tell them to. It's true, I was made for you. I climbed across the mountain top, swim all across the ocean blue, cross all the lines, and I broke all the rules. Baby, I broke them all for you, because even when I was flat broke, made me feel like $1,000,000. You do, I was made for you. You see the smile that's on my mouth. It's hiding the words that won't come out. And all of my friends that think that I'm blessed, they don't know my head is a mess. No, they don't know who I really am. And they don't know what I've been like you do. I was made for you. All of these lines across my face tell me the story of who I am. So many stories of where I've been and how I've got to where I am. But these stories don't mean anything. Got no one to tell them to. It's true, I was made for you. Oh yeah, it's true that I was made for you.
Wowza.
Rather nervous then.
That was a note and a half.
Yeah, you're so brave.
Brave.
I can't even see those kind of notes with binoculars. Yeah, that was amazing. What a lovely song too. I don't think I know that song.
It's great. It's it comes from an album called The Story. Big Brandy Carlisle fan, and actually Dolly Parton did it as well. She released it on a covers album. So maybe I'll put the playlist on.
I love that. But if you haven't seen this before, folks, Donna curates for us a Songs and Stories collective playlist on Spotify, which you can find, and all the stuff that we talk about or waffle about, depending on our mood, through and the covers, the songs that we've covered and played of our own are all on that Spotify playlist. So that'll, give you something to do on a Monday or a Sunday night.
Or through the week.
Or through the week, yeah. I love Harry just said Geoff called geeking out again. I'll probably on, yeah. Guilty as charged. And I forget, was somebody else just said a minute ago that Miranda is out and out country, Andrew.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't heard a song of hers I don't like yet.
I can't say I've heard them all, so
No.
I can't answer that truthfully.
I've only heard a few.
She goes, I mean, things like Little Red Wagon and stuff like that, they're just
Red Wagon.
big country pop songs, and
I like
also
Gunpowder and Lead. That's my favorite.
Gunpowder and Lead's great. The stuff she does with Pistol Annie's as well is very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Really, really like that. One or two really cool songs. They're always slightly cheeky.
Yeah, I like got my name changed back.
Name change back. Yeah, that was not at all about her divorce, apparently.
No.
So I suppose it's time to welcome our guest.
Yes, she will. She's
indeed.
Sarah.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
Everyone all right?
Yes.
It's sounding fabulous. I've been sat here loving it. Thank you for having me on, and DC and Danny as well. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Is that are you in like a recording studio shed there? Because I'm really jealous.
This is my home setup. It's called the Monkey Shed.
Right,
I live in Wales, so it's spelled MWNCI. That's the Welsh spelling. I don't speak Welsh. I'm from Newport originally, so they never told us Welsh there when I was growing up. But this is the Monkey Shed where I do all my stuff. So if you ever check out any of the stuff that I do, sort of videos from home during lockdown, it's here. Yeah, so it is I'm delighted that I've got this space.
I'm already seeing a guitar in the background that I'd like to have a look at.
Which one?
That blonde Blackguard telly. I loved, I do have a telly, but not a blonde Blackguard one, and that's definitely on the shopping list at some point.
Dear.
Yeah, that's my number one special. That's we're gonna geek. I saw the comment about geeking out on a C9 chord. We're gonna geek out now. That's a Baja telly.
Oh yeah.
It's got right. Turn off now if you're not interested. But it's got that little S1 switch in the volume control that I never ever use.
No.
Out.
I'm just constantly surprised that my guitars still have volume controls, let alone tone controls.
I'd love one that I'd love an amp that is just great, and it's got on, off, and volume, and a guitar with volume, and that's it.
Fender Deluxe, original Fender
like
Deluxe.
Just
yeah. I wish. I've got a AC30, but I'm looking to swap it, trade it for a Fender amp. I'm using this as a sales pitch now. Sorry, everybody. I'm on Marketplace trying to trade it because I want the Fender sound rather than the Vox sound. But anyway,
we'll talk amps another time. There's a lot to talk about. So tell us a bit about yourself, Bob. How did you get into this country? Because you've only become certainly in my radar in the last sort of 6-9 months. Is that what were you doing before that, music wise?
Music wise, I've been playing. I think I started guitar about age 13, so I've been playing in lots of different forms, and I'm a music teacher as well because you've got to make money. So I've been playing music ever since ever. But normally in bands, and maybe my own band with other people, but kind of in a collective. And then a short while ago, I knew that I I had an attack of the mortalities.
Ooh.
You know, as you get to, and I thought I don't want to be that guy, you know, that corny guy sat on the bar stool going, you know, I never properly gave it my all, because when you're young, you kind of sit back and think it's going to come to you, and for a lucky few it does, but for many it doesn't. So I quit my good job, and I knew that the stuff I was writing is the best stuff I've ever written recently. I say this a lot when I speak to people about this. Confidence can get dangerously close to arrogance. I really don't mean to come across as arrogant. I hope you all know that feeling of when you write a song, when you're writing stuff and you're just like, this is good. You know, I suppose it's easy enough to go and blow your own trumpet and then become arrogant about it. But I was so confident that everything I was writing, and I knew that I wanted to come out with material in the way that it should be, because I've got this studio here, but I can't, those of you that do recording at home, whatever, I can't quite get that radio broadcast quality on the vocal mainly. But like my home demos sound really good, but when you compare them to the stuff that I put out on the EP done at Puzzle Maker Studios, it's very different. So I knew I wanted that brand, and kind of in a way, Kiss did it and Queen did it. You go out when you've got the right, when you feel like you're ready, you go out with the right stuff. And I wanted to take that kind of approach rather than kind of trying to get recognized on the scene and then waiting to release something. I thought if I can come out and with knowing that I've got a good quality product and a good quality release.
It's bloody
yeah,
brilliant.
it's done fantastically well. I can't believe I kind of wish for it to go any better. So my journey has been a musician all my life, but a solo musician has been more of a recent thing. I mean, I've got a band. I got a brilliant band, great guys in the band. Probably some of them watching. Dan's probably watching. But this is my solo. So here we go. This is the attack of the mortalities. So when I sit on that bar stool for the last time, or when I lay my head on the pillow for the last time, I go, I tried. Yeah. And so far it's going well. Who knows what's ahead? So we just got to aim as high as we can and keep going, each and every one of us.
I think without being too, I think we've, several of us have been at that point where you just say, do you know what? Yeah. When that last day comes, what are you going to leave the world? Disappear, and music is going to be always one of those things that you leave and is immortal, it's definitely understand what you're meaning on that one, and good for you for trying to do everything until you're happy with it. I think that's that's something we certainly try and do, and having someone else, sometimes it's a technical thing that you need help with to get something better, sometimes it's just another pair of ears that you trust.
Co-conspirators are really, really important. I've got my girlfriend at the house, she listens to everything, but then going to the studio with Puzzle Maker in Bristol with Andrea and Danny McMahon, it was great to have that sounding board there, because my stuff, I go with my stuff all produced by and large, and they make it sound amazing, and they add extra as well. So it was just
amazing feeling, isn't it, hearing something you've created come to life like that, and be the best it can be.
It's the recorded version of that lovely moment, when you're on stage and it's just everything's going right, and there's this sound. I love that moment. There's that sound in front of you, and you're like, you get the shivers, and you're like, that's us, that's me and everybody else on stage, that's us. That's and it's just like, wow. So you get the recorded version of that. It is wonderful to feel that way.
It is getting to the point where you're actually. I think we're all as musicians tend to be very self-critical, and we were having a discussion about this last night, weren't we? And just that point when there is a point, like they say, an artist never stops painting a painting, and I think there is a danger with that with music as well. But at some point, you just have to kind of press save, and that's it, and walk away. And we go through a point where, with recorded stuff particularly, because we record and mix ourselves, that actually we've got to the point where you release it and then you can't really listen to it for a few months because it's so in your head. But then you come back a few weeks later and listen to it again, and think you don't hear all the tiny bits that you were concerned about anymore. You just hear a song, a piece of work, and it all makes sense again.
I think it's so important that you take the time to search out those as you just described them, tiny bits, because that I'm totally into. I love production, and I love the multi-track production thing. If you've heard my stuff, I'm sure you'll hear that. But I think it's really important to, if there's a little knock or just a sound or something, you got to get shot. You've got to and then you're right. You've got to go. Okay, now's the time. I guess going and recording somewhere, it's finite, isn't it? So you've only got the time that you've got. Andrea, bless him, at Puzzle Maker, he has the patience of a saint. Because I was like, right, no, I'm going to be there when we mix it, and we had these long mixing sessions. I'm like, no, play it again. What's that? He's like, no one will hear it. No, come on, it's going.
There is no substitute for an engineer with a good ear and patience. All the gear in the world can't replace either of those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll find that with the guys at Puzzle Maker. I sound like I'm doing a sales pitch. They've just
you did great.
they've just done me proud with this production.
Yeah, it's great to work. We have an engineer we record drums and bass particularly with, called Chris Taylor, who is just amazing like that as well. We don't have facility to record live drums here, but he does that. And one of the few engineers I've ever worked with that I trust 100%. He just has completely the great attitude. But yeah. So what are you going to play for us then, Bob?
Well, I wasn't sure what I was going to play. And then Sarah and I messaged, and she said that the theme was time, and I thought, okay. And then I got to thinking, and I don't want to make this too much about the current lockdown situation, but I thought I could do a song that I wrote for my girlfriend several Christmases ago. I write her a song every Christmas.
Oh.
And this is by far and away her favorite. And I think it's kind of apt at the moment, because for the longest time, my daughters are over at the moment, but for the longest time, because they live with their mum as well, it was just Kerry and I. And I every now and again, I kind of look at it and I go, we've done all right through this, really, haven't we? We spent a lot of time together, and there's been a few frustrations along the way, but considering lockdown, so I guess I'd like to do this as a celebration of surviving so well the lockdown time, and I hope that we can all share in that with the people that we've been lucky enough, if we are lucky enough to be spending lockdown with, and also just offering it out there for the people that we love, whether it's a romantic relationship or a family relationship. This is a song where I've just tried to say, this is what you mean to me. And it has no name, so it's simply called Kerry's Song.
Oh.
How can I explain? Well, you're the sunshine to my rain, and you're the pleasure to ease my pain. Oh, let your love shine down. When I can barely find the words, well, you're the chorus to my verse, and the better to my words. Oh, let your love shine down. And though we cannot see the road that's up ahead, well, hand in hand I'll journey it with you. And heart to heart we'll always find our way to make it through. 'Cause on this earth we'll get what we deserve. When I'm battered and I'm torn, well, you're the safe and you're the warm, and you're the calm within each storm. Oh, let your love rain down. As these words fall from my lips, as I promise you all this, Well, let me seal it with a kiss. Let our love rain down. And though we cannot see the road that's up ahead, well, hand in hand we'll journey straight and true. Heart to heart we'll always find our way to make it through. 'Cause on this earth we'll get what we deserve. So how can I explain? Well, you're the sunshine to my rain. You're the pleasure to ease my pain. Oh, let our love rain down.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I love
That's
the.
so
Sorry, go ahead, Sarah.
yeah, I love just that idea of that down, 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 and it's just makes it sound so individual as well.
Yeah, it kind of keeps you there because the suspense is there all the time.
Yeah.
Going.
It's
Thank
my
you.
old music teacher. Talking about music teachers with Bob here. I used to when I grew up on brass instruments, and I had one of the Perry teacher. I had this guy called David Reed, who is very well known in brass circles. And I remember him saying to me once, "It's sometimes the rests are more important than the notes." And I love the way that just the space in that song really works. It just draws you into the vocal and the lyrics
Definitely.
brilliantly.
Beautiful song.
I think,
Linda says, does Kerry
go on.
like it?
She does. That's her favorite song by far. Every year I write one, but nothing sort of tops that. I think that one's if she's watching, babe, is it 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that one? But every year I'm like, right, I've got this, but it never tops that one. I see why. I'm really, you know, that thing when you're really pleased and proud of something, and you manage to, because it used to be the thing when, I don't know if you found this when you were younger, when you were writing songs, to get through I say this often, but to get to 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, and get to the end, you're like, yay, I did it, I wrote a song. And then as you become more attuned to it, and you do it more, and you hone your skills, and you start to discover what it is you want to do, then you start to delve in, like you go swimming in it, and you can make the lyrical journey, and you can pull out lyrics, and you can write what you want to hear and write what you want to write, rather than just writing something. I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel very much that one is that I've managed to find the words. Well, how do you find the words to tell somebody how much you love them? Is this really quite
And it's
it's
quite exposing, isn't it? You leave yourself open to putting yourself out there, and it's easier in a song, kind of, in a way, because you're singing it rather than saying it, but it's still quite, it's quite embarrassing, but you're putting yourself out there, aren't you? And it's
I guess it's naked, isn't it? And
yeah.
to do the song like that, I'm those of you that might have listened to my stuff, I said I love production, but I've got that side too. So it's not all about it is. Big guitars are really important, right? Let's not mess about. Big guitars and drums are really important. But the soulful side of.
Who was it who said that songwriters are basically just emotional nudists?
Oh, I've no idea.
I've not heard that.
Glad it's emotional. Well, for you lot, I'm glad it's emotional. You wouldn't.
We do tend to tell people things in songs that we definitely probably wouldn't if we were just standing in a pub or something.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
Depends on how many whiskeys has been at the pub.
It's it's the universal nature of songs as well. Like, how many songs do we interpret in a slightly different way than they're meant? How many of your songs that you've written has somebody said, and you think, oh, well, that's not the way I envisaged it or I intended it, but it's amazing. It's what an absolute privilege to get to be able to create something and present it to people, and to people to to take the time to listen and hear it. I feel absolutely blessed to be able to do this. Oh, Kerry's messaged. It was 5 years ago. She adores it.
Saw that then.
And me. She adores me. Well, I hope that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Bob, thanks so ever so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really, I'm sure I speak for everybody else, and really hope we get to do this face to face.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be delight to share the stage at some time.
You never know, eh? When lockdown.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all, and thank you, Danny,
Bob.
as well,
for
putting this thing together. And thanks for having me on. And I look forward to whoever's next. Who is next?
I'm next, I think.
Bob, you have to look up now because Sarah's right above you.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay, I'll tell you what. With your left hand, right, just strum on the strings when I do this with my plectrum, right. With your left hand, so your right hand's up in the air, and it'll look like I'm strumming your guitar. Ready? No, with your left hand. So go like that.
I
Ready?
can do my left and right.
Ready? The one on the neck. Ready? Go.
One on the neck. I can't do that.
You go like that. It looked like I'm strumming the guitar. But I think, I've got to be honest, I think the illusion may have gone.
I think it has. It's gone way past now.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all so much. And
Thanks,
it's been pleasant to
Bob.
listen to you. Pleasant to chat with you. I really hope to see you.
Thanks very much for coming on.
You know.
Cheers. Bye. That's too much for my brain then.
Right.
I don't know. It'd be really cool if Bob had looked up and go, right, Sarah, like that.
Yeah, I know. That was really funny yesterday when they did that. Was it on yours, Donna? When I can't remember who did it, but they were. Oh, was it Two Ways Home?
He was trying to tickle Two Ways Home.
That was really funny.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh dear.
So original songs. We've got
Original songs. Well, yeah, I mean, I had several planned. I kind of kept on the sidelines, and but after Bob's beautiful song about his other half, I'm going to change mine totally now and do a song I wrote about my other half. And but this is before we got together properly together. When we just kind of, it was just before we got together, and kind of this is how I felt. But our story's long, and it's like 15 years long, but we've only been together for 3 years. So it's kind of, we were friends and then not friends, and then, you know, it's all of it. But so we've been together for 3 years, and he's a great guy. He's a lovely guy. And I wrote this kind of, and he calls it, oh, not the song about me wrinkles. That's what he says about it. Doesn't say it like that because he's northern, but I need the words for this. I always forget the words. Don't know why. You see, the more personal the song, the more I forget the words. Something peculiar in that. But anyway, this is off my EP, and it's called Lines. I'm in love with your lines. Each one tells a story of the passing time. I trace across your face along your scars of life. I'm in love with your touch. Your fingerprints have marked forever in my flesh, tingling upon my skin so permanent. Do I have the nerve to say all this to you? It's the way I feel, and there's nothing I can do. I'm in love with your smile, not the one you're posing pictures for. The one that I noticed a couple of years before. The day we smuggled cheap white wine through the cinema doors. Do I have the nerve to say all this to you? It's the way I feel, and there's nothing I can do. If any of your lines are caused by me, I'm sorry, but I'm glad that I'm part of your history. Does all this mean this time I've fallen for you properly? It feels that way to me.
I'm in love with the lights. I'd like to carve some more, only the laughter kind. See each other's faces changing through the passing time. If our worlds are finally aligned this time, do I have the nerve to say all this to you? It's the way I feel and there's nothing I can do. Oh, maybe you are feeling this way too. It's the way I feel and there's nothing I can do. Oh, it's the way I feel and there's nothing I can do. Oh, it's the way I feel, there's nothing I can do.
Beautiful. Timeless. Beautiful.
That is so sweet. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, so it's a little one of our kind of about our stories.
I love that line towards the beginning of the song. It says, "I love your smile, but not the one in photographs." That idea, just perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you have your little smiles that you do to each other, don't you? And your expressions that you make, but if it's a photo, it's always the same kind of smile. I find anyway. So.
Face. That one that makes you ache around here after the 75th photograph. You know?
You're doing a promo photo shoot like 2 hours later. My
Yeah.
jaw hurts.
I know.
My auntie Susan Pope, bless her, always comments on our photographs about when are we going to have one of you smiling. I don't look that good. I don't look good. I don't like the way I look when I'm smiling in photos. Sorry?
We end up looking really serious, even though
Yeah.
we're not really.
People say that to me about the promo shots, but they don't always look. They look too cheesy. It's like a cabaret shot, isn't it? When you full on smiling, it's like
Yeah. Guitar up.
yeah. Got plenty of those.
Or if you're two people, you have to stand back to back and then look at the camera.
like
Yeah.
Like ABBA. That's the one. We've all done those.
Oh yeah, I've actually done it in ABBA costumes.
We're not going to go there. Yeah. So this song, well, it fits in the time theme, in as much as when we were first together, our story is not dissimilar to yours, Sarah. In as much,
Oh, really?
yeah, we've known each other for 20 years. And we first met in a recording studio a long time ago. I won't give you the year because that would tell you something. And when Victoria was in recording, I got a call from a mate of mine, a drummer friend, who said, "Oh, I'm doing some drums for this girl recording a single, and she needs a guitar player." And I went along, and we met and got on really well. And I played guitar, and then ended up singing backing vocals on it. And we sort of stayed in touch. You know, we did a couple of projects together over the years. And then it wasn't until we put the Nashville TV show Tribute together 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know what it was, that we sort of got in touch. And we didn't get together as a couple to a couple of 3 years ago. So yeah,
pretty similar.
but when we first did, I was doing a lot of work overseas, and in the first 3 months of us being together, I think I was overseas 7 times.
Oh my god!
And that was not the easiest start
Not
to a
really,
relationship, to be
no.
honest.
Yeah, funnily enough, my other half was in Spain when we first decided we were going to go out. He was in Spain still. Like I had to wait for him to come back.
Go out, honest.
yeah. Don't meet anyone while you're there.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This one's up to Australia and everywhere.
yeah.
Get further,
Oh my god!
really.
No, I was many time
doing
zones
this on
away.
purpose?
I was in America a few times, and Australia, and all sorts. So, yeah. So we wrote this as a bit of a response to that, and this is for anybody who kind of has to spend time apart from a loved one. Time
That's where the time
apart.
fits in.
Ooh, well done.
That in there.
Over that one. Anyway, so this is called Born for the Road. Longest of night when I'm driving alone, it's just me in this car. You're back home with a bottle of wine and a smile that says, "Come on in."
It's dark outside, pouring warm in here, you're coming home again, coming back to me, 1 mile at a time. Throw open that door and hold me, never let me go. We both know it's been way too long. Would you please, please forgive me? I know not what I do, but sometimes I must bear a heavy load. You know I was born for the road. As the radio plays, I'm singing along to a tune we danced to in a time long gone. And I feel you now, just like I did then. When I get home, it's like we were never apart. But when I leave, I know it breaks your heart. So I guess we know something's gotta change. Throw open that door and hold me, never let me go. We both know it's been way too long. Would you please, please forgive me? I know not what I do, but sometimes I must bear a heavy load. You know I was born for the road. I know you were born for the road.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
There is another
Harmonies.
I can't remember it.
It's weird because we put that was a late entry, folks, on our on the EP we put out last year, and we kind of we got 4 tracks all done and recorded and mastered and ready to go, and it was kind of like we had that song, didn't know where to put it in, and then all of a sudden we said, "Yep, let's do it. Let's put a 5th track on." And because we couldn't decide what the first track on the EP was going to be,
That solved that problem. It's a different one.
So that became it, and it was recorded very, very quickly, including doing some sort of light drums in our hallway.
Yeah, but it's quite long. So when we do it live, we trim it down and knock a verse out. And now it's been so long, we can't remember what the third.
Because it was too long. Again,
It's time. Yeah,
there it is.
there you go. Time to sing it.
Oh, over to you, Donna.
Over to me. Well, I wrote a song. I started writing a song again with the time, a period of time ago. I never got to finishing it, and it's changed and progressed a bunch of times. And it really is about, where we start in life, where we end in life, and the journey in between. And it is brand new. Finished it yesterday. It's right in front of me.
Blimey, you're on a roll, girl.
Yeah. I feel like I am at the minute, so I'm going with it. And then when I burn myself out, I won't write for a while. These things happen. So
I did loads over the lockdown when it first happened, and now it's come to a bit of a hush now.
So this is called Through the Cracks.
Wakes up early pours a cup of coffee, and takes a moment for herself alone outside. Lights up a cigarette, listens to the birds sing, braces herself to face the day. Wasn't always like this when she was young. Children in the garden playing around. We're all falling through the cracks. Bad times never last. Remember every moment. This world is vast. Life will bend and break like the memories we make. Time passes so fast when we're falling through the cracks. It's late in the evening. He's counting down the hours. He takes a moment for himself alone outside. He's always working, providing for his family. Forgotten what it is to face and smile. Wasn't always like this when he was young. Daydreaming adventures and having fun. We're all falling through the cracks. Bad times never last. Remember every moment. This world is vast. Life will bend and break like the memories we make. Time passes so fast when we're falling through the cracks. We're all falling through the cracks, and bad times never last. Remember every moment. This world is vast. Life will bend and break all the memories we make. And time passes so fast when we're falling through the cracks.
Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
that was brilliant.
I don't know how you managed to create such great songs so quickly.
Well, it was quite a period of time, actually. I started with the lyrics, the chorus, and just gradually the theme sort of changed. But sometimes I'll write songs and it'll take me 20 minutes. And this one, there was lots and lots of paper.
Well, if it's any consolation, we've I think possibly what we might play next week. It depends on the theme, really. But we've been sort of writing this other song for
about a year.
About at least a year. At least a year. So and it's one of those that's kind of always got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And it's not because we don't like it, it's just that we just haven't got around to finishing it. So yes, maybe we'll finish it this week.
Yeah, that sounds like a good challenge for you. Yeah. It's me that's setting it, isn't it, this week?
Yes, please.
Well, I've already got it, so you can have it early.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Absolutely. If not, we have to whip off and write something else to the theme. Good Donna, as we say.
Quite broad again. I think it.
Good.
So I'll let you know in a bit.
Okay, lovely. Well, thanks ever so much for everybody for joining us.
Yeah, and all the lovely comments. We have seen them going up.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Stan and Linda and Harry and Tony and really just really appreciate you popping by each week, and we really hope you enjoy the songs and the chat and the waffle on my part.
We're inclined to a bit of a waffle.
Why not? That's what Sunday afternoon's about, isn't it?
Songs and stories, guys.
Yeah, songs and stories. That's what we're doing.
Well, we should be sat here with like a sherry and after a massive Sunday lunch in someone's front room. That's what we ought to be doing. So, you know, it's our equivalent of that.
That's what we're doing next. With slippers on.
Thanks ever so much again to Danny. You are absolutely amazing for looking
Thank
after
you,
us each week.
Sarah.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
perfect. Thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again, same time, same place next week.
Yes.
What week is it next week? Do we know?
9:30, I
The
think.
number.
8, 9?
I think today's 8.
I think today's 8. Yeah, I think you're right.
I
Next
think
week's
it's 8.
9.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I like
Goodness.
about it, just before we kind of go, what I like about it is that it was just a like a message about doing something together, and it's just turned into this, and it's progressed, and it's really natural, and it's lovely kind of doing this every week with you guys. So
It is.
I personally really appreciate it. So
I do.
to everybody that's
I
watching,
reckon,
you know, you make me want to play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute delight. It really
We've
is.
had to step up because we're with you ladies and we want to be as good as you. So.
Oh no, the other way around.
Cool.
Have a great Sunday, guys.
Yes,
See you next week.
enjoy your
See
week.
you later.
Bye.
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 We're clear. No, we're not clear.
Come and sing with me about the heart that I wear on my sleeve. To break a habit that's hard to beat. Whoa, she's learned it on the hard way. Yeah, she never tell. I'm gonna be there in the middle of. She had to do. Come and sing with me about the heart that I wear on my sleeve. To break a habit that's hard to beat. Whoa, she learned it on the hard way. Yeah, she never tells.